Good evening, everyone. I am Christine Bertucci, the director of the Mindanao Peacebuilding Institute, or MPI. On behalf of MPI, I wish to welcome you to our third online peacebuilding course, Peace Education, Designing Pedagogies for Change. For those who do not know MPI, we are a peace-building institute located in Davao City, Philippines, that has trained over 2,000 peace builders from over 50 countries around the world. Our focus is Asia Pacific, but we have had peace advocates from Africa, North America, Europe, the Middle East, and other places. It is exciting to be starting this new program, our virtual learning program. Due to the challenges posed by COVID-19, we were faced with this question: how do we remain relevant when we no longer can conduct in-person trainings? So we called our staff, our board, and our facilitators to talk about this extraordinary situation and how MPI should respond. Out of those collective brainstorming sessions and discussions came new ideas about online courses, webinars, discussion boards, and other ideas about how we can maximize the internet as a tool for learning, exchange, and transformation. Offers came from our pool of facilitators to help MPI in this new normal to design online peace-building courses. Your facilitator, John Rudy, was one of those persons who was willing to accept this challenge and create new ways of learning about how we can be peace-building change agents wherever we live. John is from the US, but lived and worked in many countries around the world, especially in Africa. When MPI was founded in 2000, John and his family were volunteers with Mennonite Central Committee, or MCC, a North American peace and development organization assigned to Davao City to be the peace coordinator for MCC in this region. So John has been with MPI from the beginning and has been one of our core facilitators in conflict transformation, religious peace building, human security, and now peace education. He will be your guide, the one to accompany you on this new learning journey in cyberspace. So I will now turn over the mic to Novi, your class assistant, to make some announcements before this class will begin. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Chris, for your welcome remarks and introduction of our facilitator for the Peace Education Designing Pedagogies for Change. Again, welcome everybody. It's nice to meet all of you. I've been doing a lot of exchange communications with you, and it's really nice to meet all of you, even though it's only just in screen. So like for some of the logistics, um, again, this is just like a reminder that please turn off your microphone if you are not speaking. This is to avoid like the background noise that we are hearing from each other. And then again, be online like 10 minutes before the actual start of the class. And I thank you for being early for the first session. And then all the sessions are recorded. As you can see that it's already started to record, and this will be uploaded on our virtual classroom. And then that relates to my reminder about like clarifications of expectations on participation and certification for this course. So for those participants who could complete this course, like uh, yes, for complete this course without absence, they will receive a certificate of completion signed by the facilitators and the official representative of MPI. Because we really encourage everyone to be present in the entire session of the course so that they can be fully engaged in the learning process. However, if a participant should be absent, MPI, we will only allow you to be absent for a maximum of 3 online sessions out of the 10 sessions. So if you miss more than 3 sessions, then you will only receive a certificate of participation. About the recording, again, we would really appreciate if you could inform us ahead of time if you can't like be in class and then with the recording, it's only like for you to review if you are like if you missed some of the inputs given during the class and your internet connection is not allowing you to be really fully engaged, but that doesn't mean that because we are recording the sessions, you can be absent just because you want to be absent. So we don't want to allow that one, and we don't encourage that one to happen. So I hope that is clear with you. And then I think that's it for me. Now I will turn it over to John. But before that, Chris will be leaving now, and she will just stay and wait for us later. But yes,
Yes,
Chris.
well, thank you. And I will leave you now as you start your class, and I hope it will be a dynamic, meaningful experience for all of you. So thank you again for trusting us to help you learn more about peace education. So have a good evening. Bye-bye.
See you, Chris.
See you. Thank you.
Well, welcome everybody. This is an exciting new venture. I've done a lot of online training in the last 6 or 8 months, but never a course this long. So I'm very, very pleased to that the class filled up as quickly as it did, and hope this is useful for you. We'll try to make it as interactive as possible. And with that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. And I'm sitting in Pennsylvania in the United States, so it's still dark out, and it's going to stay dark for a while because we're moving into fall. It's cool. I have the heater on, so whereas you've had a full day of whatever you've done, work or relaxing, my voice is still a little bit impacted by the night, and I really need my coffee. So I'm on my 2nd cup already, and hopefully that'll give you enough to go on. I will share my screen now. We'll do some introductions. I'll introduce myself. We'll have you introduce yourselves to the whole group, and then we'll do a little bit of breakout work. While we are doing this, if you could go up to in the participants and under more, you can see there's a place to change your name. And what I would like each of you to do is to change your name in the familiar name that you want your fellow classmates to call you. First names are good. This will also help me to get to know you better. If at any time you need a repeat or would like me to go slower or faster, you can do that with your arrows there at the bottom of the participants. You can also write to me in the chat. I've got my chat window open. So a little bit about me, and of course we need to start with family, right? This is one of the things that we're finding is most important during this time is family, is friends. So Carolyn, my wife, and I have been married for 36 years, and this is us as much younger. And I have two sons, Solomon and David, and they're both corporate jet pilots. I don't know why that happened, but you know, they chose their own career paths, and we must have done too much flying with them when they were little boys. They love airplanes, and so they've made a career out of it. We have two daughters by choice. Solomon is married to Jody, and David is married to Kayla. No grandchildren yet, so we're still waiting on that one. I'm a tech geek and a ham radio operator, so I have a whole bench full of radios that is a hobby of mine, and I love to talk to people around the world with that. I am not a PhD, I'm not a doctor, so you can just call me John, or you can find another name. I go by a lot of things, but John will work. I'm not sure if any of you have done the strengths inventory, the strength finder. This, if you are working on a team, it is a little bit pricey, but the money you spend on this will enhance your working as a team amazingly so. And it works on the things that you are strongest in and the things that others are strongest in. My top 5 strengths are ideation. You will hear me spinning a lot of ideas in this class. Don't take them as truth or gospel. They're just part of the way I process things. I will say them out loud as an idea. And when people push back on them is how I form those ideas. I'm adaptable. Adaptability is the second strength of mine. So you will find me in the middle of a sentence even adapting. If I see the look on your face, you're questioning something, or it's clear that I'm not clear, you'll find me kind of adapting even the content of the class right up until. And so that's one of the things I will try to do right after the class is put a PDF copy of the PowerPoints on our Moodle page for the day. But I reserve the right to change the content right up until the time when I present it. So that's adaptability. Connectedness, for me, the connections in the world, environment and poverty, and the lack of justice and peace, those things are all very clear connections to me. If I make a leap of logic in this class, it's because I see the connections of things very clearly. If I leave you behind in that and connectedness is not one of your strengths, then please call me on that, ask a question, or jump in. I'm strategic and I'm an activator, and those are some of the second ones. Professionally, I've worked in many countries, but mostly Africa and Asia, some in Europe, never been to South America. And the places I've lived the longest, Somalia, Somaliland, these are multiple year places where I've lived. Swaziland, Southern Africa. And certainly in Mindanao, I've had an affiliation nearly 20 years with Mindanao. Done some work in Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Timor, South Sudan, South Korea, and so forth. So when MPI approached me about teaching a course, education is one of those things that I've been involved in many facets of education in my 60 years. I turned 60 last month. And so that's kind of a watershed year for me. And as I reflected on, could I teach a peace education course? I had to kind of think about my life and education. I come from a family of educators. My mother taught third grade for many years. I have aunts and even uncles who have been educators. My father was a pastor, so if I get into preacher mode, call me on it, right? And let's take a break and do some group work or something. In terms of my own church and religious experience, I've taught Sunday school for many years. My first round of post-high school training has been in electronics, and so I ended up teaching that to both in the public school and private. I've taken graduate courses in pedagogy, teaching for higher ed. And this is my 19th year of facilitating at MPI. So not quite the beginning, but all the way back to 2002. And I taught 7 years undergraduate peace and conflict studies at a small liberal arts college here in Pennsylvania. I've had a Fulbright specialist in India teaching peace, and most recently doing web-based trainings now since COVID-19. Designed many courses and particularly in peace education. So some of the diverse locations where I've had the privilege of facilitating learning in the classroom at higher ed, certainly at MPI. MPI actually was my formation as as a teacher, facilitator. I've done some mediation workshop. The one in the upper right was up in the Compostela Valley in the 72nd Infantry Brigade, talking about mediation. Worked with a group in Laos, a young group of young people putting together a peer mediation and peace building manual. And in higher ed, working with young people was a real privilege. One of the things that I really lament about this period of COVID is that we can't be together, because simulations, I'm still trying to figure out how to do a simulation online. And maybe some of you even have experience with trying that. I can kind of conceptualize it, but the learnings won't be nearly as acute as the ones we've done at MPI over the years of running simulations. Again, fish bowls or some of those things we could probably do online, but they just don't have the same meaning. And again, some of you maybe have worked with fish bowls. Most recently, I've been doing work with the Global Partners for the Prevention of Armed Conflict based out of The Hague, Netherlands. Been doing a series of web trainings for them on human security, conflict analysis, and multi-stakeholder process. So those videos are online, and if you want that link, we can give them to you. So just to put me in context, this is my web learning area. And much of what I will do in this course is suggest ideas. That's the ideation part of me. Suggesting ideas for, in this time of COVID, being a significant, having a significant learning and facilitation space. So you'll notice here, I have some good audio, right? Whether it's headphones, a pair of headphones, a good microphone, a good webcam, you notice we've asked you to have your phone available. Sorry, I should be muting my phone here on the desk. If any of you have the capability of setting up a second monitor, almost every computer now, whether desktop and particularly laptops, have a second video output. And I know many of you are in office situations where the old computer hardware gets sent to a closet. If you have a second monitor, the amount of screen desktop space, we call it screen real estate, really facilitates, if you are facilitating a web-based learning, if you can get more screen real estate, that gives you the option of having many more panes open. And you know, Zoom confines us. And so right now I probably have a dozen windows open, whether it's the participants list, the chat list. I have 3 PowerPoints open. I have, you know, so I have a second screen hooked up. It's a tiny little one, but it gives me the live feed of the Zoom. So I know exactly what you're seeing on your screens in terms of the Zoom. You'll notice I really need to do something about the lighting on my face, because that's really important for visually, for Zoom sessions, and I've never fixed that problem. I usually Zoom in the daytime, and it's still dark outside, so lighting is an issue. And lastly, my cup of coffee. Couldn't go anywhere without it. How many? Give me a thumbs up on there, or a yes on your chat window if coffee's important to you. We'll get interactive here. Everybody know how to use your thumbs up or your yes button? Let's see, there should be you can clap your hands. Oh, there's the thumbs up is under more. There's a thumbs up. Actually, oh, that's cool. The thumbs up doesn't show in the participants. It shows in the chat window. Okay, so we do have some coffee lovers there, but it's probably too late to drink coffee, right? For me, I can't drink it past noon. So that's a little bit about me and you know, my education experience, my passion for education. In just a minute, I'd like to hear a little bit about you. But first, we do have 2 class facilitators, Novi and Fred. And I just like them to introduce themselves before we hear from you. So I don't know, Novi, how about if you go first, introduce yourself a little more. Just tell us about your education, your involvement with MPI, a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so thanks, John. So my name's Novi Villa Rafaela. I am the Peace Building Training Program Officer of the Mindanao Peace Building Institute. So I started really at MPI as a volunteer in 2017 as a class assistant and a class photographer at that time. So I met John Rudy in one of the courses that time, and eventually, like at the same year, there was a vacant position at MPI, and I took that opportunity to apply, and eventually I was hired as the program officer of the annual peace building training and the other trainings that we are offering at MPI. So basically, it's my 3rd year already at MPI. And each year we have this kind of like, it gets, it keeps on getting a lot of excitement with all the developments that we have been doing. And yes, I think that's it for my introduction, John.
Okay, thank you. Fred, are you able to say something?
I'm sure. So my name is Fred Birondo Gade. I am the Technical and Institutional Capacity Building Officer at MPI, which is a mouthful for saying I do anything that helps with tech support and editing and any other needs. I graduated actually with a BS in Bio, and a master's degree in international agriculture and rural development. And I've been doing work with NGOs ever since. So worked first in the Philippines back in the 1980s, and then went to Nicaragua, worked there in Central America, and then back in the US for a while, and now back here again in the Philippines. And I've always kind of been a bridge between the NGO work and the tech world. Sometimes more the NGO work, sometimes more the tech work. So now with MPI, I've been with MPI since 2014, and it's mostly tech work, but a lot of others. But having said that, if there's any needs, tech needs you have, support, please don't hesitate to contact me directly or contact Novi, and Novi will pass on your concerns.
Thank you, Fred. You've been invaluable so far in helping set this up, and likewise, Novi. The support behind the scenes is really critical. I'm not sure how many of you have done web trainings or participated or facilitated, but you know the tech is so much more important now, and getting that right is part of a successful course. And so Novi and Fred have really stepped up on that. So I'm just going to go down the list here and call, and these are the two things I would like right now for you to share with us. And just a little note there, because everybody see a little red squiggle on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a new phenomena among peace builders. Maybe some of you have seen this tradition. So that there's a little irritating something on the screen that lets us know it's not perfect. Life isn't perfect. And I've seen this now in a few web trainings where people just put a little squiggle on the line, on the screen. And it just reminds us that, that nothing is perfect, and we're not in a perfect time in our lives right now, but that we will get by and we'll continue with this. So these are the three questions I'd like you to ask when I call on you, and I'll go by first names. Please let us know if there is a name you'd rather be called by than the one that I'm calling. And answer where you're located and one thing you like about where you live. And so, Flamina, I'm going to call on you first. And please unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, and nice to meet you all. My name is Flamina, and you can call me Nina. I live in Dili, and I'll just say one thing I like about where I live, it's environment.
Flamina, Nina,
Yes.
the environment, as in the natural world?
It's a natural, yes.
Okay, thank you, Nina. Okay, Kit Yan Choi. You're muted, Kit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Kit, and I'm from Hong Kong. Yeah, so actually, I'm a social worker in Hong Kong, and I had a master's degree in international peace studies from Tokyo last year. So then I came back to Hong Kong, and I'm now working in a newly established peace institutions called Peace Generations in Hong Kong. And then I'm working working on some conflict transformation workshop or some research. And then we also focus on some topics like restorative justice, transitional justice, and so on. So peace studies will be always my favorite subject, and I'm really, really interested in these topics, and I would like to know more about how peace related to our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Kit. And we'll get to sharing a lot more about our organizations, both in the large group and with some breakout groups that we're going to do yet today. So Arvin, tell us a little bit about your nickname, your location, one thing you like about where you live. Let's see, Arvin de la Cruz.
Yes, it's not here, John.
Okay.
Yes, he said he's on the field, so
Okay.
can
Malisa, we'll go to you next.
Yes, good evening. Okay. You can call me Liz. That's how I'm called in the Philippines. Currently, I'm located in Cotabato City, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region for Muslim now, but I'm not originally from this region. What I like in this, I've been here for 2 years already. What I like about the place is historical, and it is at its very interesting stage of the movie. I think that's it. Background in terms of this building, my undergraduate course is political science, and I have a master's in public policy. I had some trainings in conflict transformation and peace building in Thailand in 2011 with AMAN, ARF. And then I used to work in peace building projects in the Yemen with Islamic Relief Worldwide. And currently I'm the project manager of another peace building project for Relief International here in BARM.
Thank you, Liz. And I'm glad to hear you're in Cotabato and that the internet is strong enough to do this. I wondered about how Cotabato and Davao would fare checking in. So that's good to hear you. Shalom Bless.
Hello,
There you go.
good evening, everyone. So I am Shalom Bless di Iran. So you can call me Shalom. And I came from here in Midsaya, Cotabato. And one thing that I like in this place is that it has diverse culture. And I think I can see visible economic growth. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, thank you, Shalom. Good to see you from Southern Christian College. Been there a few times and really appreciate the leadership there.
Yeah.
Sophia.
Hi everyone. So good evening. My name is Sophia. My nickname is Soda. So I prefer any, whatever you remember. So it's Sophia or Soda. I'm from Quezon City, Philippines. And what I like about where I live, well, I have two answers. The first one is in terms of where I live, like Quezon City specifically. I like it here because it's very strategic in terms of transportation, and my house is just a 5-minute walk away from the malls. So it's very clear, very near. But overall, in terms of the Philippines, our country, I believe that what I like about this country, even if we're under challenging times, is the Filipinos. They're very kind and hospitable and very resilient as well. So it's nice to meet you all.
Good, thank you, Soda. And that is nice that you don't have to hop a jeepney to get to the places you like to be. Yeah. Francis, welcome, Francis. Can you tell us where you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Francis. I am in Uganda, the northern part of Uganda, Igulu. You can call me Frank. Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Francis. Good.
Hello, are you hearing me? Yes. So I am a peace building practitioner since 2005. And I have also been to MPI. I was in the class of John, the nonviolence class. And I'm happy to continue with learning today again through this process. One thing I like about Gulu, I like about Uganda is the natural fresh food, fruits, and eats. Thank you.
Francis, it's great to see you, or to at least to hear you. I know maybe the video isn't as strong there. Tell me, you go by Frank now?
Pardon?
You are using Frank instead of Francis?
Yes, Frank.
Okay, that'll be new for me. Great to have you with us, Frank.
Thank you.
Vicente?
Hi, thank you, John. Good evening, everyone. So my full name is Vicente Borges Maya. Just call me Vicente, this is my first name. I think one thing that I'm going to say is I live in Dili. Actually, I'm originated from one district. It's called Bobonaro. It is a little far away from Dili. And John, already you know that when you work with Siaver in Timor-Leste. One thing that I like more is Dili, because I spend more of my life in Dili since Indonesian time from 1982. And this is what I experienced a long time, grow up in this city during Indonesian time and after independence until today. And I feel that I have many memories in this city, and it's a small city has become beautiful at this moment. That's what I like most. Thank you already.
Okay, thank you, Vicente. Mary Lou.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Novi. I'm Malu Nanaman. I'm here in Iligan City. I like Iligan because it's always close to the dynamics of Mindanao, like peace and conflict challenges. Since 2000 and up to the present, while I'm at the university, I work with NGOs in relief missions, in trainings with the university, because I'm with MSU. So I work in different levels, especially keeping in touch with the grassroots. So that's what I like in Iligan City.
Okay, thank you. Malu, right? Not Mary Lou, but Malu.
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Malu, okay.
Kurt Zion Pala.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone. I am Kurt Pala. I am originally from the Philippines, Iligan City, like Malu. But I am currently living here in Myitkyina, Kachin State in the northern part of Myanmar, Burma. What I like in the place where I live is the diversity of people in terms of religion and cultures. So thank you and nice to meet you all.
And is Kurt okay to call you Kurt?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. John Patrick.
Hello, I'm John Patrick Ilogno from Davao, Philippines. I'm currently one of the ordained deacon here in the Archdiocese of Davao. I am part of the Interreligious Dialogue Committee of the Archdiocese, and we are promoting peace dialogue with our brothers Muslims, especially here in our Archdiocese.
And John Patrick, is that what you want to be called, or John or Patrick?
John.
Okay, very good, John. All right, thank you. Josephine?
Good evening, fellow learners, Professor. So number one, my nickname is Jo, J-O, spelled as J-O. I'm in Quezon City, Metro Manila, Philippines. And I like that there's a peaceful community feel in my location.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Rohida, did I get that right?
Good evening from Indonesia. My name is Ruwaida. You can call me Ida, IDA. You can call me Ida. Actually, I come from West Nusa Tenggara Barat, Sumbawa Island. Now I'm living in Yogyakarta. I've been here since 2014 for study. One thing I like about Jogja is I love Jogja because there's many bookstores and book clubs. I really enjoy staying here. Now I'm a volunteer of Institut Dian Interfide for Interfaith for Dialogue in Indonesia. Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Likewise, Ida. Thank you. And we have Stephen Kiefer.
Hi, I'm Stephen Kiefer, but I go by Kiefer. I'm based in Quezon City, Philippines. And one thing I like about the Philippines is my family is originally from Hong Kong, so I like it for the opportunities it's provided my family. And the Philippines is, I think, one of the biodiversity hotspots if you're into nature. And also, Philippines itself as an archipelago is really diverse. So you've got lots of different languages. So if you're into languages, you'll find the Philippines really interesting.
Thank you, Kiefer. So some of you started to share already about your both your teaching experience, the grade levels with which you're most interested in working on peace education. And some of you have already shared your peace building training and experience. I think I won't call on people, but I just to recognize we do have a high level of interest both in peace, and we have some very skilled, seasoned educators among us. So this course, hopefully we will share from each other, share with each other, and get many perspectives. There's not just mine. Let's be clear about that. And I think, oh, Sophanie, I'm hearing a little bit. Are you there?
Sorry, Rudy. Sorry, Rudy. You hear me, Seth?
I do hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. The first. Okay, and good evening, all participants here. And the first thank for Rudy, facilitator this call. Okay. The first, I would like to say, okay, nice to meet you, and so happy to join this call. And this call interesting. Peace. Okay, peace education is important for the people, and okay, the need to improve the life, learning, and improve all support living. Okay, the first, I'm from Cambodia. My name is Subhani. Okay, I am a literature teach in UBB. The full name is Battambang University. Okay, I teach in faculty community psychology community faculty. Okay, I live in Phnom Penh, and okay, my university in the province. Okay, I have to teach one day when I have the time or schedule to teach. Maybe I go by bus to the university to teach my student there. Okay, now I live in Phnom Penh, but my work in the Battambang province. Okay, I think peace is important for the people and for the student to learn. Okay, all participants and all friends can call me Annie.
Annie.
Yeah, Annie. My
Okay.
my full name is Pani, and I'm from Cambodia. Okay, last year, okay, Rudy and all participants. Last year I worked in department. Then luckily I passed the exam for the literature at the Battambang province. The first I'm an officer in a department. I work in the office, and last year luckily I passed the exam for the literature, or we can call professor to teach in the university. For my subject is rural development. And this my subject is linked to about the peace education. Maybe connected each other for to promote human rights or promote economic in society or in the rural area. Okay, that's all for my introduction, Rudy. And
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you can call me Annie. I'm from Cambodia.
Okay.
Okay.
Annie,
So
thank
happy.
you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to say sorry for joining this call late because the internet or because of my launch the password wrong. Then I put the earphone. I hear from participant said or friend said, but okay, I take out the phone. Yeah. You hear, okay, all hear my introduction. Yes, thank you all.
Okay, thank you very much, Annie. And it's good to hear from you from Phnom Penh in Cambodia, or at least I think you said your university, at least in Battambang.
Yes.
And I know that Johari is still having connection problems. So Johari, if you can hear us, you're welcome to put your introduction into the chat window, and then all of us can see that. I think in terms of teaching experience, grade levels, peace building training, please share that in the breakout groups that we will have here. The rest of, we're going to have that a little bit later. So I don't think we'll take the time for that introduction, but we will be spending a lot of time together, and much of that, some of that in breakout groups. So you'll get to know each other there. Before we take a break, just a few technology things. I want to talk about how I, as a facilitator, want to get feedback from you. It's a little bit awkward online, but there are some tools we will be using. I would like everybody to raise your hand right now in Zoom. Can you find the hand raised, and everybody raise your hand? I see a thumbs up. Malu, maybe, do you have a hand raising? Okay, there I see it. This is some way you can get my attention. If you want to break in and you want to add something, say something. It's interesting to me that Zoom has added the hand in the video window. Okay, and I'm going to test the clear all now. Okay, I've cleared the hands. The other thing is, have you had a chance to load Poll Everywhere? I know Novi has sent this out, and so right now you should be seeing Poll Everywhere on your phones. I would like you to vote. Did you have eggs for breakfast this morning? And if you watch the screen, we should have some real-time feedback. One person did not have eggs this morning so far. Okay, it's a split. Actually, I'm going to vote too, because I just had eggs before I got up, before I got online. So whenever you have access to internet and the phone, you can use this tool for feedback. And Fred and Novi, you are welcome to join in any of these polls that we take. So it would be very helpful if by next class period, if you haven't loaded Poll Everywhere, Novi has sent around instructions. I believe there are also instructions on the Moodle page. For those of you who haven't done it, see if you can get that loaded. Okay, so that's the egg question. Now we'll get a little more serious. Poll Everywhere allows me to do word clouds. So what I'd like you to do now on Poll Everywhere is to list one expectation you had for this class. And this will allow you to type in, I think I've set it for more than one response. So you're welcome to put as many responses as possible in. Okay, you can begin to see how your classmates, your fellow participants are expecting, what they're expecting from this class. Learning, pedagogy, methods are some of the most mentioned. Co-learners, that's an interesting one. Participants, interaction, experimental, experiences, process. I'm not sure what the ILL is, I-L-L. Theories, peace. Thank you for working through the expectations. Let's see. I think we're going to let's take a 5-minute bio break. Coming back at 7, well, at least, let's just say 5 minutes. At 7:07 Philippine time, you'll have to adjust that. So 7 minutes after the hour. So take the break you need, and we'll be back soon, okay? Novi, you want to read that introduction from Joe?
Sure. So he said that, hello everyone. My apology for having a poor internet connection. I am Johari Makayendeg from Southern Christian College, Philippines. You can call him Joe. He's a peace building practitioner for 7 years now. Specifically, he's working with the Bangsamoro Muslim brothers and sister. So that's his introduction. And we are hoping that he will be able to join us, like really fully join us by the next session. Thanks,
Good.
Jan.
Okay. And Joe, yeah, welcome. And I hope you are hearing us and hope you get that sorted. So we're going to do a little bit of breakout now, talk a little bit more about expectations. You'll be able to introduce yourselves a little bit more. Fred, Fred or Novi, you want to tell us about how breakout groups work in case anyone isn't familiar? And these will be groups, we've kind of grouped you in similar situations in groups of 4. So Novi or Fred?
I think I will turn that over to Fred.
Okay, good evening again, everyone. Basically, if you're not familiar with breakout rooms in Zoom, some of you may be familiar. You'll see a message to join a room. So when you see that message on your screen, just please click join. And then when we're about to come back to the large group, you'll also then see a message about returning to the meeting, to the group meeting or the plenary. So basically that's it. So John, just let me know when you're ready. And what I do is it's called open the rooms and people will be able to join.
Okay, so Frank had a question, where do I write my expectations? What I'd like you to do is go into these breakout groups and talk about these two questions. If this class were successful, then what? And then the question is, so what would make this a miserable failure for me? In other words, what if the expectations weren't met at all? What would that be? So in those groups of 4, just discuss those two questions. We'll give you 10 minutes to discuss those. And so Fred will set that time. After 10 minutes, you'll automatically come out to this main group. So I know this is just the first time we've tested the breakout groups, and it probably felt like an injustice, not enough time for some of you. So I'd just like to hear a brief summary, a minute maximum, of from your groups. What is success and what is failure of this class? How about the group number 1? Did you know who your numbers are? When I send you into breakout groups, one of your first tasks is to decide who's going to report, if there is reporting, okay? Just keep that in the back of your minds that we will be wanting quite often some reporting. So Ida, go ahead. You were going to share for your group.
Yeah, I'm Ida from first group. In my group, there is Kit from Hong Kong and Frank from Uganda. So and Annie from Cambodia. And what we expect from this course is first we thought that we are successful from this course is we have to keep our time to consistently join this course, and we want to know more about peace education for transform the conflict, because some of us learn peace education in our university, so we hope we can support our society with peace education from this course. And similarly, from Frank and me, that we hope we can make a new syllabus or curriculum for our work in our NGO to become enlarge our capacity. We would like to get we hope we can get new skills and idea for our societies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Second group, or any other group who wants to jump in?
Yeah, so we're the second group. Hi, everyone. I'm Soda, and in our group, we have Miss Malu from the Philippines, and we have Vicente and Mina from Timor-Leste. So for the first question, I think we believe that the class would be widely successful if first it would create more opportunities for all of us after as well. It will inspire us to do piecework more after the training, and everyone can share knowledge and ideas if everyone can stay in the class, given that there are internet challenges, and we can learn many things from one another. lastly, under this question, this course will be able to change our minds about peace education, so I assume in a positive way, and gain more knowledge and share more knowledge, including the experiences of different countries. And for the second question, it would be a miserable class if there is non-participation from from my fellow classmates. And it was a majority statement a while ago that internet connectivity is really a challenge or a threat to peace. However, when maybe some of the participants will not be able to complete the course, it would also be a loss for this class. So hopefully we can prevent that from happening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Third group? Third or
So
fourth?
I am Shalom from group 3. So I'm with Kurt and John. So the two of them, the three of us, we came from Mindanao, and I've discovered that the two of them are all missionaries. And I think the success of this class would be more on the application. So if we could integrate it with our teaching them in the missionary, then it would be more successful because it was applied. It is applied. And I think one thing or the main thing that could hinder this class to be successful is same with the group 2, it would be the internet connection. So that's for us from group 3.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. How about group 4 then? Any representative from group 4?
Hi again.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
All right, thank you. So our group is composed of my colleague, Sir Kiefer, and Miss Liz, who is from the University of the Philippines Open University. So at the beginning, we had a little introduction about ourselves. So we got to learn something new. Most importantly, we learned that Miss Liz is knows actually our organization or knows a publication that our organization Mednet Incorporated delivered, and then we proceeded with answering the questions. So for us, the class will be very successful if there are new methodologies, practices that we will learn from this class, and we will be able to apply it, and new methodologies would be applicable to the projects or to our efforts. And the class will be a failure if there will be glitches and we will not be able to absorb the learnings that the professor will be teaching, and if we could not participate successfully in group activities. So that's one. And then there's another one. This is very important. This is from my colleague Kiefer. It will be a failure if he will not be able to deliver. So he plays very important role in our organization. So he's very serious in taking this class, and expecting that he will be able to apply the new learnings from this class to deliver our expected outputs from our projects. And then for myself, I think it will be a failure if I will not be able to contribute or share my inputs to the class. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Joe, on behalf of that group. So that helps to set my expectations as well. And we will have a total of 20 hours together online. The idea is that there will be an equal amount of time offline interacting with some of the, I call it homework. I don't like that idea. I don't like that word. But many of you are in education settings and you know about homework. On the Moodle page for each week is a a list of resources, whether it's reading, some of them are videos to watch, and those will help to fill in some of the information gaps that that I won't be able to cover in class, and they will certainly supplement the class input. So please check into that Moodle link, the class page, and you'll see links, hot links there. There are some documents that are offline that you can either download or you can read in the Moodle site. So I want to go over the syllabus a bit. And again, the syllabus is in the Moodle page. And let me just double check to see what that's called. I think it's the overall, Novi, you remember what that was called, the whole syllabus that I sent in and where that's located?
And it's under week 1, Peace Education course syllabus.
Oh, that sure it is there. Okay, yeah, and maybe that should be moved up to the header page, but it is under week 1. So the overall objective by the end of this course, participants will be able to design context and age appropriate teaching methods for maximum personal transformation through peace education. We're going to get into, we'll have a little time to explore change as content today. Please note that my theory of change, which is a term we'll get to, is embedded in this course objective. So you might want to loop back around to the course objective and to see what's his theory of change as a facilitator. Each of you will have a chance to write the course objective for the final project. I'll explain that here in just a minute. The specific objectives, so have appreciation for the assumptions and theories related to how peace education contributes to change. And again, now we're starting to explore some of the content of this course. We're talking about change through education here. Understand basic terms, concepts related to peace building and peace education. So there's a content part of this course, and there's a framework part of this course. And I'll give you a little bit more certainly on that later. Be able to develop objectives, activities, assessments associated with effective peace education course. So all the pieces of peace education should be at least mentioned or touched on in this course. Now, breakout groups and talking among yourselves are really an important part of this. Each of you brings an understanding of peace, of education, of change, of some of the main concepts of this course. And so sharing with each other, both in terms of your context and your understandings, will be an important part. We have two kinds of breakout groups. And we've done, Novi has worked at this to try to group you in similarity grouping. So Novi's kind of read your applications and grouped you in that first group based on some similarities you may have, whether it's institutional, organizational, that kind of thing. The second grouping is an attempt to mix it up so that we have a lot of diversity and you can share with each other in that way. If you have, so this is we'll go back and forth between these two kinds of groupings in our breakout groups. So any questions, comments, thoughts so far that you have? You can, we're a small enough group, please just unmute yourself and ask the question. You don't have to raise hand or anything, just let it go either in the chat or unmute yourself. I am going to now go over the final presentation. Now, again, the final presentation will be the last week. So we'll take the two class periods, the Tuesday and Thursday of the 5th week, which is in November, for you to be doing your presentation This course is about designing both curriculum in the larger sense or in a smaller sense, a specific training event. And I say that they're done in groups of 2. We've already committed you to groups, but if you're not comfortable with those or you would like to add a 3rd person, please approach Novi for kind of reshuffling this. But I think early on, you should be communicating with each other, getting ready to design this together, and then you will have 20 minutes to present. So the final project I would like you to do, design a fully developed instructional event. You can think about this in terms of a whole university or a whole grade school course. You can think about it in terms of a workshop, and workshops are anywhere from half a day to a week, sometimes 2 weeks long. Or you can think about this in terms of a 1-hour Zoom session. Whatever serves you best in terms of design. The 2 of you that I'll show you your groups here in a minute. But of course you can't, if you're designing a week-long workshop, you can't do the whole thing for us. So what I'd like you to do is, so you'll notice if you're designing a whole course, the presentation you will give to the whole group is, we'll want you to think about the whole outline. We'll want you to think about the syllabus. We'll want you to think about narrowing it down to a specific lesson plan, and then you'll have time to do a 5-minute input from that lesson plan, from that syllabus, from the course outline. You have to do this all in 20 minutes. I know it's a big task, so you have to be organized and you have to be very concise. For example, if you're doing a workshop, talk to us about what's your learning objective for that workshop. What do you hope people do if you're designing a whole workshop? What are the objectives? And then I want you to give us the outline of the whole workshop, whether it's a half day or 5 days or even 2 weeks. Then I want you to do one 5-minute lesson or input from that workshop. If you choose a Zoom presentation, which maybe that's our reality now. Maybe you're looking ahead, or maybe you're thinking, okay, next week I have to do a Zoom presentation. So again, and maybe tell us how long that is, 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour. What's your learning goal? What are your objectives? And give us a 5-minute snapshot or segment or learning event from that Zoom course. So when you think about your final project to the rest of the group, you will have 20 minutes of time. We'll save 10 minutes after your 20 minutes for questions and answers, and each of the group will be asked to, the rest of the group will give some input on that. We want your overall objectives, goals for the course, workshop, or Zoom design. We want your learning goal for the 5-minute session that you'll be doing with us. Then you will present that 5-minute session. Then we'll ask you to kind of reflect on how it went, what you think went well, what could be improved. And then the rest of the group will also be kind of answering that question, what went well, and maybe you'll gain some insights, improvements on the whole training. Now, I know this is a lot to digest. Final instructions. So this is another look at the outline of what we want you to do that day, the last day. And then these are the groups, the grouping of people together. So there'll be 8 presentations for each day. And with 2 hours, that's half an hour total each, 20 minutes input, 10 minutes of feedback from the group. Questions? Some of you look a little bewildered. Are you understanding what to do? Frank, you were saying you had no idea what's going on. What question might you have?
I didn't get you so well what we're going to do in the groups.
So Frank, you will be with, where are you?
Ruwaida.
Okay, so you and Ruwaida, Ida, get together, and you'll have to do this offline. You'll have to do this in between the class sessions and decide, what kind of learning event are you talking about? Are you talking about a whole curriculum for graduate, for children? Are you talking about a Zoom event? Are you talking about a workshop you'd like to pull together? And then you will design the outline of that. So, and these are the things that we want you to present in that 20 minutes we'll give you on the last day. So the outline, and then design for us a 5-minute input or some kind of a group interaction or breakout group that we will actually participate in. So you will be the teachers for that 5 minutes, actually for the whole 20 minutes, but you're going to tell us about what you're going to do, and then you're going to do it. Does that clear things up? Now, all of this outline is actually in week 5 in Moodle. So if you need to go back and look at it, please feel free to email me in between class sessions, and I can respond in that way. But you will be the teacher, you will be the facilitator in that last week for at least at least 20 minutes. And because we're examining peace education, it'll be both telling us your vision, your structure, which includes the outline, it includes the learning objectives, the overall objective. But then you will be, for 5 minutes, you'll actually be in the role of a peace educator. Collateral? Any other questions?
Hey, hello, John.
Yes, Kit.
Hi, it's Kurt.
Yeah.
I see there's a course, a workshop, and a Zoom. Are we going to do all 3? Or
No.
we choose one?
Choose one kind of learning event, which most serves you in terms of design. You know, when you go away from this course, this is about peace education. What will be expected of you as a peace educator? Now, maybe all 3 of them in your career will be expected, but I want you to choose one kind of learning event that would serve you maybe most immediately after the course is over. Because make it practical. If you're called on to design some kind of a peace education course that you have to teach next semester in your college, by all means, that would serve you the best. But if you're called on to do some kind of a workshop on Zoom or a Zoom session, maybe you don't have lockdown for COVID and you are actually called into a community to do a half-day seminar, then you can choose that. Does that make sense, Kurt?
Yes.
Okay. Frank is asking how long we're going to go. It is a 2-hour session. Does anyone raise your hand if you have to keep this to strictly 2 hours? If you have to be off after 2 hours, please raise your hand, so I'll know if I have any flex time in terms of going a little longer. Okay, at least one person has a hard cutoff. And when I say raise your hand, not on video, but on the Zoom panel. Okay, Shalom is the only one. Okay, so a few of you have a hard cutoff. So I'll keep it right. So we have 10 minutes yet. Let me just say, when we have MPI sessions together in face-to-face, we spend at least the first half of a day forming a community of learners. So we've done a lot of the technical, we've done a lot of the, the structural parts of this course. We haven't gotten into any content on peace education yet, or in education at all. And this is also part of my theory of change, part of my philosophy, that that building a community of learners, especially in contexts of violence and of destructive conflict, is a critical task of any peace builder. And I suspect for those of you in education, you understand this too. To develop trust, to develop an understanding and expectations in education, this is critical. One of the things we understand that happens to human beings in violent contexts is that they become isolated. They feel isolated. They feel fragmented. If violence has been done to you, there's a sense of isolation and loneliness and disconnection. So one of the first tasks of the peace builder is to develop connection and community. And so we've spent this first session online kind of working at community and becoming this connected community of learners. I know I've done more than my share of talking now. Part of that is just to be able to set the expectations, to get you to understanding what the framework of the course is. We have a few minutes yet. So I'd like to hear any thoughts or questions, any hesitations, any excitement from any of you. Thank you for the party hat, Joe.
I think we're good. That's why we're silent.
Okay, now listen, one of the expectations was participation. I know some of you have questions about this. And I'm okay with silence on Zoom. Go ahead, Vincente.
Yes, thank you. John, I think this is because that's the first time. And then once we have tasks to do, without any introduction and lesson. And then for me, this is the first time of this course. I mean, I do not have any background study of peace building. Even I'm working with the institution of the post-conflict, but I think I still need to learn more, to hear more from the college and also from yourself, before I come to design a syllable or a teaching plan for a course or workshop. So so I do need at least a standard that we can use to develop a workshop or to prepare for a workshop. So how can we develop the objective, and then also the teaching material for the certain period. So I think this is something that I need to learn before, from the last day when I come to present as a result of the course. So I think this is something that is still become my question. If I feel that this is something that I have to do today, and then, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, but I think then later on, once you, from our discussion and from your presentation, we will learn, and I think it will help us to do.
Thank you, Vincente. What you're experiencing perhaps is, when I was teaching in higher ed, I would teach in undergraduate courses. That first day of class, everyone got their syllabus and got the expectations and the assignments. And the new students felt just completely overwhelmed because they thought, how are we going to do all of this work by the end of the course? And it's only 5 weeks away, right? Perhaps this is a point of empathy with any new students. So what you're feeling now, the tension, the anxiety, or the, why doesn't he say something, can give us a window of empathy into any of the other participants or students we might have who are coming into our classrooms, into our workshops, into our Zoom sessions for the first time. So just sit with that for a while. That discomfort you might be feeling. Why doesn't he say something? Why doesn't he give us some input? He's given us a huge task. I don't know what to do. That's a really important insight as an educator, right? Someone else?
Thank you.
Zoom and silence don't go well together, do they?
Hey,
But
John.
this is, yeah, go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be part of this group. My motivation is to really know how to make use of this opportunity. For example, Zoom now, because it's difficult to gather people. And for like what you mentioned, peace building, you need real interaction. Like you can touch people, you can hear people, and really be in there face to face. But with the limitations of the pandemic, now we have this new platform. But like what you're saying now, it's quite difficult just seeing people and not really being able to feel them or to touch or to really come face to face. So I think that's one difficulty with the technology that we have now and with the current situation that we are in. But still, seeing different faces from different parts of the world is really also hopeful that even we are from different places, we have this common motivation to bring peace, to become peace builders. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kurt. And especially as the lone representative from Myanmar, that's, oh, are you in Myanmar? Did I get that right? Yeah, so.
I'm in
okay.
Myanmar, but I'm from Iligan City, from Philippines.
Right. Okay, good. So, okay, well, starting next Thursday, next week, Malu, were you saying something? Did you want to add?
No, I was talking to my buddy here in my room.
Okay. So I think we will we'll end this session here, but I'd just like to say we will start with content next week. I'm sorry, on Thursday. Please look at Moodle. There are some things that will help you to enter into the discussion more fully. If you could read those before Thursday. And we will start with the idea of change and education next week. Thank you all for your participation. I think it's going to be a great group, and I'm very honored that all of you are joining us and participating in this. So have a great next couple of days till we see you Thursday. Novi, any announcements or anything?
Yes, thanks, John. Thanks everybody for staying up this late for the classes. So one question earlier, if you, John, will be uploading the PowerPoint slides that you will be presenting all throughout the sessions, and I said yes, we will upload that on the virtual classroom. That is why we encourage everyone to, check the virtual classroom from time to time. Because we will be uploading the reading materials, the handouts for the sessions. And even the recorded sessions, it will also be uploaded in the virtual classroom. Just one more thing, in the virtual classroom, we added like an overall course discussion forum where you can put or write your overall questions or comments about the course, or if you need any assistance or technical assistance or otherwise. If there are anything else that you would like to ask about the course, you can use the overall course discussion forum. And we will keep on sending you reminders about your homeworks and the preparations for the final presentation, which John presented to you earlier. So, and again, if you have any questions you have in mind that you forgot to ask during the sessions, you can always send us an email or a text or call us if you have one.
Novi, one thought. So I have grouped them together for the final presentation. How might they contact their fellow participants who are pulling this together? What's the best way that they get in touch with each other? Email?
I think we
where
will
they
start
find it?
with email communication, where I think with regards like sending the reminders, I will do it by pairs so that they
Okay.
will have each other's email address, and then they will decide what platform or which communication would they want to use for, preparing for the final presentation. I think I will do that, Chan.
Thank you, Novi. That will be a great help in connection. Okay.
Yes. I think that's from my end.
Okay. Thank you all. We'll see you on Thursday.
Yes. Same time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. See you.
See you next time.
Nice to meet you.